All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's go, Mets fans. So, yeah, this team continues to flounder here in June. We lost 2 series in a row now after dropping 2 or 3 to the Phillies. Mets were able to escape the traveling blues that I laid out in my previous video, having been outscored 30-11 in the last 5 such games when we arrive in a different city. Yeah, they actually won the first game in Philly this time, 6-4, with Sean Manaea going 5 1/3, allowing only 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Juan Soto hit a solo home run in the first and the third off Aaron Nola. AJ Ewing had an RBI double, and perhaps the biggest blow was a 2-run triple by Marcus Semien after he was called out for a strikeout on a foul tip. It was determined that the ball was fouled into the ground before being caught by Real Muto. Then the triple came right after that. Devin Williams allowed an unearned run in the ninth to make it a bit closer, but he held on for the 6-4 win. We got Manaea going 5 1/3 of 5 Ks, 2 earned runs, 6 hits and 1 walk. Brazoban, Minter, Weaver combined for 2 2/3 innings. Williams with the unearned run being scored got the save. Offensive highlights for the Mets: Ben's 3 for 5 at a run, Soto 2 for 4 with a home run, Semien 2 for 4 with that triple, and Ewing had an RBI double. He was 2 for 3 on the game. So Mets come in and take the first one, hoping to get off to a good start here. Obviously, we did. There was a day in between the 2 games due to conflicts with the World Cup schedule in Philadelphia, so it was a rare Friday night off. Not sure what difference that made in the teams preparing for the game, but hopefully it never happens again, because game 2 was just a total disaster. We had Freddie Peralta on the mound going against one of their 2 aces, Christopher Sanchez, in this one. Peralta, he didn't show up at all in this one. He allowed a solo home run to Bryce Harper in the first. Phillies got a single and 2 doubles to score 2 more in the second. Then in the third, the game fell apart completely. Solo shot by Kyle Schwarber to lead off the inning. Then a whole bunch of hits after that put the Mets down 8-0 when Peralta was mercifully taken out of the game with 2 outs and 2 men on. The Phillies at that point had batted around to bring up Schwarber again, and right away he blasted another one to make it 11-0, basically ending the game as if it was in question even before that. Mark Vientos got one back in the fourth with a home run off Sanchez. Tobias Myers relieved Perez then with 2 outs and 2 runners on in the fifth, and he allowed a 2-run triple to Harper, who at that point hit for the cycle. He hit for the cycle in his first 4 at-bats. Kind of crazy. Not something that, cycles don't even happen that frequently, but to do it in the 5th inning, to have one already in the 5th inning, it's pretty sad. Good for Harper. It was impressive. It seemed like he really wanted to, the hardest one to get there is the triple, and he hit it right in the gap and hauled ass for third base. In the 7th, then Carson Benz, he scored Vientos with a home run of his own. Schwarber came up again in the bottom, and it was just piling on at this point. Hit another home run, his 3rd of the game. 1 off each of our pitchers at that point. Game was so ridiculous that we brought in Zach Short, infielder, to pitch the eighth for the Mets, and he was their most effective pitcher of the night. Got out of there with no runs allowed. Final score 15-3. Phillies, obviously. See Peralta, probably the worst performance of his career in terms of runs allowed. 2 2/3. Had only 2 strikeouts, 10 earned runs. 2 of them, well, 2 came on home run. 2 home runs allowed. Perez came on, just added fuel to the fire, giving up the second home run to Schwarber, and then Myers got tagged as well. Didn't want to be left out. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Viento's 2 for 4 with the home run. Benj with the home run. Mets in total had 8 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 1 big loss. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Just getting jumped on right from the beginning. Never a good look. Game 3, still got a chance to take the series even after that Game 2 disaster. We got David Peterson going against our old friend, Zach Wheeler. We know him. Should have never left the Mets, but, can thank the Wilpon family for that one. Now, Peterson wasn't quite as bad as Peralta, but he walked the first 2 Phillies batters, and they both scored in the first inning. Then he allowed a 3-run home run to Schwarber in the second to put the Mets down 5-0. Carson Benj would get the Mets on the board in third with a solo shot off Wheeler. Peterson left after 4 innings with 5 strikeouts, but most of the damage was already done. Although Austin Warren would allow a home run to his first batter, being Harper this time. Mets trying to come back a bit in the 6th, loaded the bases on walks by Ben Soto and Jared Young. Then with 1 out, A.J. Ewan hit a fielder's choice. They're attempting a double play, but he's hard to double up there, so he made it to first. 1 of the runs scored, but Semien struck out to end the threat there. No more scoring after that. Phillies coasted to a 6-2 win, take the rubber game of the series in Philly. Mets dropped to 9 games under 500. So we got, like I said, with Peterson going 4 innings, had 5 strikeouts. He just got off on the wrong foot there. I mean, obviously walking the first 2 guys of the game, then giving up 2 runs in the inning. Then the home run to Schwarber again. Warren, 2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts. Gave up the home run to Harper. Raley and Minter, inning pitch each. Ewan was 2 for 4 with RBI. Benj, 1 for 3 with another home run. 2 runs scored. Mets in this one had 6 hits, 3 walks, 14 strikeouts. That's a lot of strikeouts. Actually, I think Wheeler had 7, and the other 7 came in the last couple innings. I'm pretty sure Duran had 3 himself in his inning. So just look back at the series. Mets dropped 2 of 3 after winning the first one. 6-4 win in Game 1. 15-3 blowout in Game 2, and then just couldn't get much offense in the third game. Dropped out 6-2. So yeah, just some thoughts on these games. Obviously, Game 1, anytime you win, and it was a good start for us. Like I mentioned before, I did a little study where in the last 6 games where we arrived at a new city, whether it was a visiting team city or even coming back home, we had been 1-5. Defied my research there and took the first one. Mania came out. He was effective. Held the Phillies down enough, even on a night when the ball seemed to be blowing out, to the point where Soto had 2 home runs, but the one that he hit, it didn't even look like it was going out. He thought he popped it up, and it just kept carrying out. And it just showed that the ball was really flying once it got up into the wind. Same thing with the semi and triple that he hit. It looked like a pop-up, but it just kept going, bounced off the wall, and basically straightaway center. I'm surprised the Phillies didn't take more advantage of that, but, I think Mania, he seemed to have his stuff together in that game. And then game 2 is just pitiful. Peralta, worst career start. I see everyone's piling on him now after that one, just questioning how good he is as a pitcher. I kind of been critical of him as it was even before that. I mean, you don't expect a guy to give up 10 earned runs, but, I was questioning, whether we should consider trying to sign him in the offseason or even throughout the rest of this season, or perhaps even trading him. At this point, it's looking like he might be, a good trade candidate, although his value is definitely taking a hit. But still, not many starting pitchers get moved at the trading deadline. At least that was the case last year. I don't know if it'll be more the same this year, but he'll probably be one of the better ones available for a team trying to, solidify their starting rotation for the playoffs, or just trying to help them down the stretch, maybe due to injury or ineffectiveness by their other starters. But if we don't make moves to try to get into the wild card race between now and then, I can definitely see him getting moved. Maybe we could try to sign him still in the off season, but I don't know what he's gonna expect as far as length and terms of the contract at this point, and I don't think he's gonna get what he desires, at least just with his performance in most of these games here. But starting pitching, they always pay for it. We'll see how that goes, and like I said, a lot of it has to do with how the Mets fare and down the stretch here, or at least between now and the trade deadline, whether or not we keep them for the rest of the season. Game 3, go on, more early inning runs allowed. I'll circle back to that point. Peterson just got off on a wrong foot. He gave up them early runs, put us down, and with a struggling offense like we have on most nights, it's just not a good way to start. I mean, you could tell it just takes like a psychological hit on our hitters, either trying to do too much to make up for it right away, and most nights we're not hitting like that. We're not slugging like that to be able to come back from these early deficits, and that's what happened here. Benj, another home run off Wheeler this time, went opposite field. Pretty good, put a couple good swings on the ball this series. Benj was 5 for 12 in the series with 2 home runs. His OPS now up to 722. So yeah, he continues to really impress, especially off the early season where he wasn't getting anything. It wasn't clear at all whether he was going to stay with the team, and everything was in question. So I'll have to look to see what he's been doing, because most of that damage has been done since May 1st. But yeah, he made up for all that. He's up over league average now with OPS, and kid's putting up really, really good at bats. We'll see how this plays out. as far as where he bats in the lineup, since Lindor is slated to return. Should be during this upcoming series, or Chicago. He had played in some minor league games trying to get ready. I would think as early as Wednesday or maybe even Tuesday night he could make his return. We'll see what that brings. Hopefully he just comes back and eases back into it and doesn't have the struggles that he has. I'll tell you what, the original concern was with that hamate bone and it potentially sapping his power. I mean, I'm sure it's still affecting him a little bit because he did have surgery on it, but now he's coming back from this calf injury. Hopefully he just had enough time to rest and maybe the hamate bone won't be as much of an issue. Not really sure how that plays, and I'm sure it's a little bit different for everybody, but hopefully he can just come back and spark us a bit. We need it. I mean, you can see how this offense runs on most nights, and we could take any contribution we can get. And Tyrone Taylor's even on his way back too. I mean, he wasn't really hitting much other than that home run he had against the Yankees, but he's going to come back too. I'm sure he's going to be in the outfield rotation to some degree. Then upcoming this week, we come back to Citi Field. We got 4 against the Cubs, and then the Phillies come to town for the weekend. So, we'll see if we can try to get some revenge on them, even if we can take 2 out of 3 just to even the season series up. Who knows? We got to come ready. We got to figure out how to pitch to Schwarber, obviously. I mean, he's a problem for everybody, but yeah, they got to, I don't know, stop pitching it low and inside. Maybe I'm easier said than done, I guess, but still. Yeah, so the Mets dropped the 3rd game on Father's Day. I know my nephew was out there. He took his son. That was his first game. I was just telling him, hopefully they play a little bit better than they had on Saturday night, and they did. They kept it within the single-digit margin. So, yeah, unfortunately, it was a loss in his first game there in person. But hope you guys had a good time. Would have been nice with the win, but hey, just go back another time. Maybe go to Citi Field next time and see how they do there. So yeah, talking about the early innings struggles the Mets have had. I took a look, just a comparison between the other teams in the division. Got the NL rank and ERA. In the first column here, Braves are first. Phillies number 5, Marlins 6, Mets are 7th, and Nationals come in 14th out of 15 teams. Overall ERA, Braves 3.4, Phillies 4.06, Marlins 4.07, Mets 4.08. Right there with those guys, middle of the pack in the National League, and then Nationals 4.64. So the real outlier in this whole thing is where we have it broken down in innings segments. So innings 1 through 3 is the first segment. Mets team ERA 5.49. That is horrible. After that, we get better. Innings 4 through 6 go down to 3.27. Innings 3.9. 3.64 ERA, so it just shows that our bullpen's pretty competitive. We're best in the 4 through 6 innings between these teams, and then we're pretty good competitive at least in the 7 through 9 innings. But this 5.49 ERA in the first 3 innings, that's way worse than any other number on this screen here. It just shows that our starters are coming in. I mean, whether we're using the Petersons, Senga, Mania earlier, he was getting hit a little bit, having the opener with Brazoban or Warren. And then in this series, you saw it with Peralta just got hammered. I mean, it's easy to say, yeah. I mean, obviously, a lot of that happened in this series. We gave up 16 earned runs in the first 3 innings of these games. But even before this, the ERA in the first to third innings was 5.07. So it went up a whole half a point, give or take. But still, we were already bad even before this. But it just made it way worse. I just wanted to put it in perspective, just looking at the other teams in the division rather than comparing it to the entire league. But I would be willing to bet without even looking that's the worst number of all teams for the first 3 innings. Just the fact that we're a full run worse than the next worst team, which is the Marlins at 4.5. So, yeah, starting pitchers or whoever's pitching the first inning and then coming out after are just putting us right behind the 8 ball, and it's not good for morale for the team, especially when we know we're already struggling to score runs. I mean, our offense has struggled all year. Occasionally we'll break out and score a bunch and jump ahead, but for the most part, we're scratching and clawing for a couple runs. And, just being down early is, I don't know what our record is, being down a certain amount of runs early, but I mean, we're already 9 games below 500, so it's probably about the same. Like I said, after 77 games, Mets 34-43, 8-10 in June. Just continue to take a step forward and then 2 steps back in whatever order. We're not making ground here on the season record. We got a chance. I mean, no one's really establishing themselves in the wild card race as far as like putting us out in the distance, but we just can't seem to help ourselves and get anything going. So, like I said, we got the 4 games at home with the Cubs, another 3 with the Phillies coming to town, and we gotta try to do this here. It's almost the halfway point of the season, and we're barely on a pace to get 70 wins. So, we need a big finish to the month just to get on track. I wouldn't even say back on track. But, yeah, I'll see how this Cubs series goes. And then I'll either combine that with like a midway point review of the season, give grades on all the players, different parts of the team, the manager, front office, try to do something to try to, encapsulate the whole first half of the season. We'll see how it goes. But, hey, start winning some games here. Try to, like I said, try to finish June with a winning record. Like I said, like I've been saying, it's a tough month. Next month's tough as well, so we got to try to claw back into it. We got Lindor coming back. Maybe that'll help. I mean, it's going to help a little bit, but as far as wins and losses, if we don't get this pitching figured out and just being a lot more steady, we're not going anywhere, and we're looking at trading guys off at the deadline and possibly even calling up some more prospects just to get a look at them. So, hey, if anyone has any suggestions to why this is happening, I would love to understand it. I mean, maybe we were just mediocre to begin with. I mean, obviously, the Clay Holmes injury set us back a lot. He was our best pitcher, and he was putting out consistent starts, kind of anchoring the team. Now we got all these spots up in the air with question marks, and you run into these good offenses with guys that are hot, and they're going to make us pay if guys aren't sharp. I have no idea what to expect from this team going forward, but hey, let's see if we could do something against the Cubs. Like I said, we come back home. Yeah, not going to try to sugarcoat it at all or even fake like I'm overly positive we're going to turn around, but we'll just keep watching the games and see how the team goes. Keep documenting this 2026 season, even if it's just for my own entertainment. I'm going to keep doing it. I appreciate anyone that watches the videos. If I can get some to subscribe, to follow, show that people are interested in stuff I'm saying. I got a couple other things in the works I'm trying to, put together and put out there. Not things that aren't as time sensitive as these series recaps, because once it's over and people know the Mets lost, like who really wants to care about it? It's not even really too exciting making the videos anyway, knowing that we got our ass kicked, especially in the second game of this one. But like I said, I'm just doing it as a documentation of the season, and then just addressing whatever else comes up along the way. All right, let's go get them Cubs. Let's go Mets. We need you. We need you. Let's go. Night.